Hi, and welcome to the Erasmus Studio walkthrough. This is where we're going to learn how to create a public aura, one that can be viewed by anybody that has downloaded the app and followed your channel. So this is a quick walkthrough, how to use the studio and how to add your images and your overlays. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So your username and your login are going to be Erasmus Studio PD, one word. Alright, your login is going to be Erasmus PD, and your password will be the same. Both will be Erasmus PD for this session. That will get you logged in here. Now, before I enter the studio, one real click up here up at the top, you'll notice this is my website, and right here is the Erasmus tab. This will be your walkthrough. I'm guessing you're already here if you're viewing this, but I just wanted to make sure that you were in the right spot. How to use Erasmus. You'll find this video within here, and all the directions and screenshots how to get through all of it. So step by step for you. Alright, back to the studio. So let's log in. You'll notice the first thing that pops up is a help topics, has everything explaining what each part of the studio does. You're welcome to look through that, but for our purposes today we're going to go ahead and close that out. Everything you need will be located over here on the right. It's pretty much in order of how you would create everything. The only thing that we won't have to worry about today is the channels. I've already created a channel for you. If you get your own studio account, you will need to make a channel to make things public, and then people will subscribe to that channel. For our purposes, I've created the Utica PD channel, and you will all subscribe to it. So if you do create an aura within our PD, other people will be able to view it once it's uploaded and created. So let's go through that process now. We're going to start by adding a trigger image. I've already got a few that should be populated in here because I've been playing with it and I've had some students that have done some work. But right here is the Utica PD part. I'm going to go ahead and go up here to the add because I want to add a trigger image. Remember, a trigger image is the image that's going to start the app to bring up the overlay. So it can be anything that you have taken with your camera. It can be something that you've made, but it's some image to start the app and bring up the overlay or the video or picture that you want them to see afterwards. So let's go ahead and add one. For the naming purposes, I like to keep the names the same, and I'll show you in a little bit why that is. So I'm going to put UCS1 because I've already used UCS in my trigger images, so I don't need that. The coordinates, these can be location based, but we're not going to get into that this time through. You can add a description. I usually don't. If you need to, you can. But right here is where we need to be under browse. So I usually add all of my images to my desktop to make them easier to find. You can create a folder if you like. The image that I'm going to work with today is this Erasmus image here. So I'm going to double click it. It won't immediately pop up here, but once you click save down here in the bottom, it should pop up as soon as it's done saving. And there it is. Okay. It also gives you these options to mask. Again, this is an option to help clarify or clear it up so that it works a little bit better. Trigger images can be tricky. They need to be detailed. Color helps. They can't be sparse or lacking of movement, I guess is one way to describe it. This one's got a lot of little details in it that help the app capture it. So we don't need to do that with this one. This one's already worked. I've checked it. So I'm going to close out of this. Now we're going to go over here to overlays, and we're going to add a picture that I've already added in here, but I'm going to do it again and call it UCS1. So I'm going to add an overlay. An overlay can be a video. As you can see here, it pops up right away. Let me quickly name this. It can be an image, which we'll use today. It can be a web page. You can add a URL or a 3D model. Again, advanced techniques. If you have a 3D modeling camera, fantastic. You can take 3D models of anything you want. They can be done virtually 3D, but I don't. So we're going to stick with an image just for a quick tutorial. You'll notice that they do max your size out. If you're making a video, this is also the same. It's 100 megabytes either way. So when you record a video, make sure that it stays under that mark. Otherwise, it does not work. So now let's browse to that image. It should be stored somewhere on my desktop. There it is. So I'm going to add that image. And again, it's not going to show until I click save. And there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. So now I've got UCS1, I know it's a duplicate, added in as my overlay. Again, you can have videos in here as well. I'll show you what those look like. These will actually move. These are some of the images or videos that my students have created in the past. So you can see they get a little thumbprint here of the images. So now that we're done with the overlays, we're going to go ahead and close that. We've already talked about the channels. Now all we have to do is create the aura. You can see that this moves pretty quickly. Again, all auras that have been created, you can see the channel that's been added to them. You can see the trigger image, and you can see how many different overlays are in each aura. You can see there's only one of these that I have on here that has more than one overlay. But you can add as many as you want, and you're about to see that. So let's click Add to create an aura. It pops up in this general window here. I'm going to go to Aura Details on the left. I'm going to name it. Again, I'm going to keep my name the same, that UCS1, to help me find everything that I'm looking for this aura. So now I'm going to click under this red box because it's telling me I need to add a trigger image. And I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to find UCS1. See how I like to have the names matched to make everything a little bit easier so I know which one I'm finding. Again, you can name them any way you want. The channel, again, is also necessary. So I'm going to click on the channel, and I'm going to add it to Utica PD so that everybody here can see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and close that back up, and you'll see that there's an overlay part here that we're going to add in. So I'm going to add an overlay, and it's going to pop up this. This would indicate your first overlay for this trigger image here. You can add as many as you want. It is limitless. I think I haven't maxed it out yet, but right here is where we're going to click to find our overlay. And again, in this case, we're using that UCS1. See how the name kind of sticks with it, makes everything a little bit easier. So it pops up on there. You can move, these are layering effects, move it up and down. You can hide it so you can move other overlays around. You can also resize these. It gives you a generic one that usually is about the same size as your trigger image, but you can resize as you feel fit. So once you've done that, and now I've got that set. I like the way that it looks, and I'm done. There are some other things you can do with the overlays. If you go down here, you can click Add an Action. So if someone taps the screen while they're using the app, double taps, you can have it do different things. You can see a few options here. It can load a URL page. It can stop or start the video. It can do a couple different things here. So you have some options to play with. We're not going to go through all those now because we're pretty much done making our simple aura. So I'm going to go ahead and close. I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, and it should show. Okay, so there we've saved it. Make sure that you save it, otherwise you'll lose all your work. I'm going to go ahead and close, and we should be able to view it down here at the bottom. UCS1, trigger image UCS1, tells me the channel that it's on, tells me how many overlays are available for it. So that's your quick starter walkthrough for Rasmus Studio. Again, it is a little bit bigger than what I've shown here. There's a lot of other options and a lot of things that you can do with it, but that should get you through for your first aura. All right, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.